Hello friends. So in the previous session, we have discussed about the occupational health, then different diseases, and in that we have discussed about the sources, controlling measures, and the solution related to that diseases. In the previous session also, we have discussed about the noise, which is a notifiable disease, and now it is radiation. So due to the radiation, the disease may be a cancer. So for that purpose, we must understand what exactly the radiation is, and then what are their types, and then how to control this radiation exposure. So there are two types mainly, that is ionizing radiation and non-ionizing radiation. So under this non-ionizing radiation, you can observe from this image that there is radio waves, that is radio frequency waves, then extremely low frequency waves, then microwave. So microwave oven which we are using, that is under non-ionizing. Then under that again subcategories non-thermal and thermal. So under non-thermal category, there may be a induces low current, and in thermal category, high current may be there. So the main purpose is heating, that is why we have to use this high current, and with the help of thermal, we can utilize these different equipments. So from these different equipments, you can understand what exactly we are using for these different purposes, and there may be a chances of radiation. So through the power lines, so that is distribution systems and transmission systems, then radio we are using, TV we are using, then electronic gadgets or mobiles we are using on a daily basis, then microwave oven or satellite cell phone, etc. Then we are also using some heat lamps or lasers, then some booth facilities, that is scanning booth facility. We are also using the X-ray for testing some of the diseases in the medical field. Then we are also some of the workers are exposed to the radioactive substances, especially in the research area which is related to the nuclear weapons. We are also using the nuclear substances in the physics laboratory or in the power sectors, where the power generation is with the help of nuclear substances. So in that area also we may expose to the radiation. So these are the different examples. So under the ionizing radiations, mainly the area is ultraviolet rays, then X-rays, gamma rays, and under the broken bonds, that is damaged DNA. So which may results in a different diseases. So as far as this non-ionizing and ionizing is concerned, we have to make focus on the ionizing radiations, because the health effects are severe than these non-ionizing radiations, right? So electromagnetic radiation consists of varying electric and magnetic fields operating at right angles to each other. Then it has both the particulate and wave-like aspects. Following table shows the wavelength and frequency for the various electromagnetic radiation. So we will discuss this table in the next slide. Then long waves have low energy, short waves have high energy. So this is the basic principle we have to understand. In the long waves, there is a low energy, and in the short waves, there is a high energy. So the higher energy wavelengths, that is short waves wavelengths, are more penetrating than the low energy levels or the long waves. So the simple example is X-rays. So X-rays are harmful to your health if you are using this X-ray technique for a number of times. And in a similar manner, if you understand the CT scan also, that is equivalent to 300 to 400 X-rays. So nowadays in this pandemic situation, many doctors are recommended to these suspected COVID patients that you have to go through the CT scan. But try to understand that CT scan is equivalent to 300 to 400 X-rays. And we are talking about the X-ray or the high energy wavelength, that is short wave, which are more penetrating than the other one. So that is more damaging. Then gamma rays and cosmic rays have short wavelengths, so 10 inch or centimeter and less, and high frequency, that is 106 cycles per second and above, and cause ionizing radiations. So this, we have to take care about this gamma rays and cosmic rays, which are under the category of ionizing radiations and which can cause the radiation health effects. So some other examples are electric waves, radio waves, microwaves, visible light, that is VL or IR, UV, lasers have longer wavelength and less frequency. So that can cause non-ionizing radiations, right? So as this is non-ionizing radiation category, so they are not much damaging radiation. So lasers are involved in the visible light, IR, UV regions of the spectrum. So the table is given below. The electromagnetic spectrum, that is the energy form in one of the column, then frequency in cycles per second in second column, and wavelength in CMS in third column. So you can observe the energy form in non-ionizing radiation is, for the electric waves, 10 raised to 2 to 10 raised to 4 frequency cycles per second, and the wavelength is 10 raised to 12 to 10 raised to 6. In a similar way, you can observe for the radio waves, infrared waves, visible light, and ultraviolet. If you compare this ionizing radiation frequency, it is 10 raised to 16 to 10 raised to 18 as compared to this chart, right? And it is up to 10 raised to 21 plus. So if you observe the cosmic rays, which is under the ionizing radiation category, the frequency of this cosmic rays is 10 raised to 21 cycles per second. And if you observe the wavelength, that is 10 raised to minus 11. So wavelength is short, means high energy is there. And if high energy is there, means it is having a high potential to penetrate your body. So ionizing radiation are more damaging and having a more energy as compared to the non-ionizing radiations. And that is why this frequency and wavelength statistical data is given in this slide. So X-rays, gamma rays, and cosmic rays are more dangerous than the electric waves, radio waves, IR waves, visible waves, and ultraviolet waves. So we have already discussed these ionizing and non-ionizing radiations. So ionizing radiation means electromagnetic or corpuscular radiation capable of producing ions directly or indirectly in its passage through the matter. So they are capable to produce the ions. That is why it is called as ionizing radiations. And which is not capable, then it is called as non-ionizing radiations. So in the ionizing radiation, it is not visible by the normal eyes. And the examples we have already mentioned: X-rays, alpha rays, beta rays, gamma rays, fast neutrons, thermal neutrons, and radionuclides are the examples. Then radioactive substances in the chemical field which can be used must be firmly sealed within the metal container to prevent the dispersion, to active the material into the surrounding. So radioactive substances should be handled with the care. Radiation hazard may be there, so and that may be the chance for the exposure of the skins or your body. So radiation hazard means the danger to health arising from the exposure to the ionizing radiation, which may be external or internal. So as we have discussed that this ionizing radiation is dangerous one, as it creates the ions, and due to which radiation hazard may be created. So if there is a case, then there is maybe chances of skin burn or skin damage temporarily or permanently due to this radiation from the ionizing sources. Then animals and human studies have shown that the exposure to the ionizing radiation can cause cancer. So these are the carcinogenic substances. These are the tetragenic substances or mutagenic substances. So which may affect the tetragenic activities or mutagenic activities as well as the other sequels. So due to these radiations or the longer exposure in this radiation, you may face some of these issues. So the NCRP has formulated exposure limits. Some limits are given below in this table. So that exposure limits like whole body exposure long-term accumulation is 5. That is for the age in year up to the 18. And whatever the age, that is multiplied by 5. So depending on the age also, your exposure long-term exposure duration is decided. Then testicles, ovaries, and red bone marrow. So that may be a exposure and the limit is given. Then likewise for the skin, thyroid, bone, hands, feet and ankles, then forearms, all other organs, then pregnant woman and total during pregnancy also, the limit is very less. So that is 1 or 0.5 only. Then population wise, the individual for the 0.5 for the whole body, and for the average population that may be a 5. So depending on the age, depending on the conditions, depending on the exposure of your body parts, the limit is given in terms of REMS per year. So all these numbers indicating the 5, 15, 30, 75, etc. REMS per year. So this is the limit or the unit for the radiation. So this table gives you the idea regarding the type of detector and for which type of radiation it is going to detect that particular radiation. For example, if there is alpha radiation, then proportional or scintillation counter surface barrier diode should be used to detect this alpha radiation. For the beta radiation, we have to use the Geiger-Müller tube or proportional counter. For the X-rays and gamma radiations, we have to use the ionization chamber and scintillation counter. Then for the fast neutrons, we have to use the proportional counter and ionization chamber. And for the thermal neutrons, we have to use the proportional counters. So depending on the type of radiation, we have to use the particular detector equipment to measure the radiation, because we have to restrict the maximum permissible limits for this radiation. Then what are the protection techniques? How to protect this radiation? So we have to go for the some of the guidelines. Control of exposure time and distance, that is in our hand, because there is a specific limit which is given for the exposure. So we can control this time as well as the distance. Then shielding. So we can use some of the personal protective equipments, that is called as whole body apron, like COVID apron, which are used by the health workers. But for this radiation shield, if you observe in the government organization or government hospitals, nowadays also they are using a full body shielding aprons to avoid or to protect from these radiations. Then wearing a film badge to check the dose limits. Then pre and post employment medical test. So we have to test ourselves as well as to test all the workers in the industry, especially who are going to expose these types of radiations. Then prevention of radiation disease such as skin cancer, ulceration, dermatitis, contract, then damage to the bones and bloods, etc. So which may depends again on the contact hours, contact time, then individual person's health, and due to which there may be a chances of cancer, ulceration, or skin diseases, or cataract, or some damages to the bones and blood also. So use of remote control containers, that is also a good solution to avoid these a direct radiation or to reduce the exposure time of that radiation. Then continuous monitoring and maintaining the safe limits by engineering control, that is another aspect. So nowadays also, if you observe, the dentists are using the digital X-ray rather than the conventional X-ray. So if you observe in the old hospitals or in the civil hospitals, you may observe the X-ray machine, that is old one, but now the dentists are using the digital X-ray, so which produces very, very less radiation as compared to the conventional X-ray machines. So we haven't have to use that shielding or the full body apron, etc., to avoid these types of radiations. So there is no issue with the digital X-ray machine as compared to the conventional one. The sealed container should be leak proof. So we have to seal these containers to avoid the leakage, and we have to continuously monitor and maintain in case of any leakages there. So these are some of the guidelines to protect these radiation and the diseases due to the radiations. Right? Then what are the applications of these ionizing radiations are? So it is mostly in the biological and chemical research, chemical pilot plants, and the production. These are the major areas where these radiations or the ionizing radiations are used. It is also used for the curing technique, grafting, testing, evaluation, free radicals, cross-linking, polymerization, then disinfection, sterilization, pasteurization, etc. So these are the different processes or the operations where we are using the ionizing radiation principle. Then there are some product, like product wise, if it is used in the semiconductors, then rubbers, adhesives, spices, paints, and coatings. Then membranes, fuels, lubricants, plastic, piping, enzymes, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, foods, flooring, furniture, textile, medical uses, and agricultural uses. So these are the variety of products where these ionizing radiation technique can be used. Thank you.